Anytime we get a tropical entity this close to the Northeast, we have to pay close attention. A lot has to go right for that storm to deflect towards the right and stay out over the Atlantic, which I think it will, but that is something that we're watching in the coming days. We're also watching these savory summer temperatures today in the upper 70s to low 80s. So tomorrow, or yesterday rather, was nice. Today, so nice. We're going to do it twice. We do have hazy skies overhead, though. That actually from wildfire smoke, rather, that's traveled from the western U.S. towards the East Coast. And yes, our eyes are still on Ernesto. We think it would be later on this week and into early next week if we saw any sort of significant impact. At the very least, that impact may be out over the Atlantic with rough surf and rip currents right along the surf zone. For the hours of daylight today, going back to that smoke and those hazy skies, sunrise at 5:51 today. We're at 13 hours and 55 minutes. So the daylight length itself is dwindling as we near the end of the summer solstice. Tonight, sun sets at 7:46. If you think back to yesterday, it was quite hazy, especially as the sun was setting. Well, that smoke has traveled again from the western U.S. and the Canadian Rockies and drifted right overhead. So today is another day of reduced air quality in the moderate range, unhealthy for sensitive groups for some. As the sun is starting to rise, temperatures are set at 67 degrees with mostly clear conditions right now. So you'll see that haze as the sun continues to rise. Our dew points are at about 58. That's a measure of moisture in the air, and it is quite comfortable today and tomorrow, too. That's in that comfortable range, not so much sticky and unpleasant yet, although nearing Sunday and Monday of next week, as we start to see the influence of some of that tropical moisture, that's when the dew points start to climb and the humidity does go back up. It's 84 high today, 60 for a low temperature tonight with calm conditions but increasing clouds through Thursday and the chance of an afternoon shower. Looking at that chance of rainfall tomorrow, I don't think this is a lot to write home about. In fact, I don't think most of us will get appreciable rainfall in terms of watering the lawn, but it's just a little bit through midday from Worcester towards Providence at about 2 to 3 in the afternoon. And now more across Metro West. But a lot of this really doesn't intensify and develop until it hits the south coast. So long gone for Boston at that point, 1 or 2 rumbles of thunder. But this is all done at the conclusion of the day on Friday. What's not done just yet, tropical storm Ernesto at 70 miles an hour, again, sits right on top of Puerto Rico. I'll show you what is very concerning. As this nears Bermuda, this really ramps up over the warm Atlantic waters to a Category 3 hurricane impacting that region. And then we see this cone now project towards the north. This would show the overall center of the circulation. But look, Boston is not that far off, which is why I say we have to watch this really, really closely. In the 10-day forecast, that chance of rainfall does go up on Sunday, in part due to some of the cloud coverage and the influence of moisture, if you will, from Tropical Storm Ernesto.